No. Stop. We need to go back, further back, to the beginning. No. This isn't the beginning either. We need to go further back. We need to... You know what? Let me just explain this from square one. Hello, my name is Garvin, and I read things and babble about them on the internet for your entertainment. So, if you're watching this, this was made as a holiday bonus video. I'm not home right now, but I made a video for everyone to watch. I hope it entertains you. And I hope you're having a wonderful holiday surrounded by people who love you. Today, I'd like to talk about the Trojan War. Or rather, how I would write something based off the Trojan War. And instead of focusing on our big guys, you know, Achilles, Paris, Helen, I'd like to focus on two people who are absolutely pivotal to the plot, because without these two men, we don't have a war to have a story about, but are often shoved to the sidelines. The brothers Agamemnon and Menelaus. In a lot of adaptations, if Agamemnon even shows up, he's Achilles' cranky boss, which is accurate, but not the whole story. And Menelaus, I feel he gets done dirty. He gets turned into this kind of gross old dude who should never have been considered Helen's husband. And aren't Paris and Helen a wonderful romantic couple? And I'm going to say no, they're not. Paris is not a romantic hero. He already had a wife and son, and he abandoned them because Aphrodite promised him a prettier woman. This is not a hero. This is a villain. I will defend this hill and you will die on it. Be warned. Getting back to my main thing here. I would actually like to go back before the war to where Agamemnon and Menelaus are teenagers, because I want to use this story to answer a very important question. Why the hell was Menelaus even allowed to be in the running for Helen's hand? Let me explain. You see, Helen of Sparta is the crown princess of a wealthy, prosperous, powerful city-state in Bronze Age Greece. This is not the Greece of Plato and Socrates. Sparta hadn't gone crazy into the Sparta of the 300. It was a more normal setting. But it's wealthy, it's prosperous, it's important. Helen is not only the most beautiful woman in Greece, she is the most eligible heiress ever. So, when the king of Sparta announces he's marrying his daughter off, every king who wasn't already married, and some who were, showed up. Every crown prince, every major hero or man of wealth and means, all of them showed up to throw their hat into the ring. And here come Menelaus and Agamemnon. And you might be asking, well, why is this a big deal? Because neither of these men had any political or material power. You see, Agamemnon and Menelaus were exiled princes of Mycenae. Their father was the king. He was brutally murdered by his brother and his son, so the boys' uncle and cousin. And those two framed Agamemnon and Menelaus for the crime and exiled them from the city. So these are two boys accused of patricide and regicide, which are serious crimes at this time and place. And they have nothing to bring to the table. So why were they even allowed into the palace? And to me, the obvious answer is because they had gone through adventures and established their names as, big deal heroes. So this is like, hey, Hercules has shown up. You gonna tell him he can't come in? Same story. What were their adventures? The adventure I would put them through is a quest to find Hyperborea. For those of you who don't know, I have a video on Hyperborea, by the way. That'll be linked in the comments below. Hyperborea is a mythical realm far to the north of ancient Greece, where it is always summer and Apollo goes to spend the winter. Now, these boys have been thrown out of their home, falsely accused of a crime. They need a patron, they need allies, and more importantly, they need to do something amazing to convince people they're worth backing. So their plan, we're gonna march to Hyperborea, find Apollo, and convince him to give us his blessing. And whether or not that succeeds, that's gonna get people's attention. And there's a second thing I would want to put in here too. I talk about this in my Clytemnestra video. By the way, I'll be linking a number of videos in the description because I talk about the backstory we have for a lot of these characters earlier in the channel's lifespan. So feel free to take a look at those. But Clytemnestra is Helen's twin sister, and she marries Agamemnon. So one myth that comes to us from ancient Lydia, which is in modern day Turkey, is that Clytemnestra was married to a king, had his son, but Agamemnon destroys the city, kills the king, and murders Clytemnestra's wife, and then he and Clytemnestra happily get married and go to Sparta, get Menelaus shacked up with Helen, and then use the armies of Sparta to conquer Mycenae and put him on the throne. And I'm sitting here going, wait, so would you let the dude who murdered your son-in-law and kidnapped your other daughter come to the palace and say, here's my brother, marry him to your other daughter? That doesn't make sense. But we can work with this. What if this other king actually kidnapped Clytemnestra in the first place? And let's go ahead and embrace the mythology aspect here. Let's make this a fantasy. What if this dude's actually a monster? Right? He kidnaps Clytemnestra, and he's not planning on marrying her in a conventional sense so much as victimizing her. Maybe he's some sort of weird vampire. I don't know. We can workshop this. And Agamemnon comes in and saves her from a fate worse than death. I think that would get them in through the door. And if Menelaus was part of this adventure, then boom, we got something here. And I find this idea of these two guys being heroes who become kings, and in Agamemnon's case, go down a moral decay until the point where the woman he saved from a monster is so outraged by his behavior that she buries an axe in his face when he comes home from the Trojan War. Tell me that doesn't kind of grab you a little bit. Just a little bit. Anyways, I just wanted to throw that idea out there. You guys tell me what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this little bit of a bonus video, please feel free to drop a like or a comment or even subscribe. And be sure to say thank you to my Everwise patrons, because they voted for me to make this video available to the public. I had originally just meant to stick it up on the Patreon for them. Once again, let me just say happy holidays. I hope everyone listening to this is safe and surrounded by loved ones. And I will be back January 24th. Until then, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and of course, keep reading.